Shalom. Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Shai. Double honors to the apostles, bishops, elders of Great Millstone. Shalom to you, hopefully elect. This is just going to be a quick World War III news. Just according to prophecy, because more and more, the Lord, he's stirring up the pot. All right. He's gearing the leader of these nations more and more towards war. All right, which we know and believe ultimately, when it's all said and done, when the news start flying, it's going to usher in our deliverance, Lord willing, we're at that number. So at the end of the day, so to say, we're with it. We're with it. But just to speak on first thing that comes to my spirit is this whole bombing that took place at the the memorial, of, I can never pronounce his first name, but he was a General Soleimani. I remember touching on this a couple of years ago when it happened, when this guy got deleted, this top general got deleted, and they basically said that they vow retaliation. Basically they're gonna get their lick back. All right. So like I said, just the other day they had the memorial service or whatever. All right, and there was a bombing, which they're already suspecting it to be, or they're suspecting the West to have some type of involvement in it. All right. They already pointed fingers at the West, and of course, again, they were vowing retaliation. All right. But of course, we just have to keep our eyes peeled and see what happens, how it plays out. Did the video yesterday, touching on how to be circumspect, because there's been a lot of threats. All right. From the prophets and from just, these experts and whatnot, these just people in general, basically just been given a warning to suspect these terrorist attacks. All right. And not only that, because with this whole Iranian warship making its way over there to the Red Sea area, which will, and it already is, causing some strife and tension, because I think they say that that area is like, what did they say? What were the numbers? I think they said it was like 15% of the world's trade goes through that route, through that specific area. And the fact that a lot of, people are just kind of holding back from going in that area because it's hot. Things are heating up, And with that being said, hey, we can suspect, long story short, the price of goods to go up, the price of everything to go up, because typically, that's what happens, as far as goods getting into these, stores or whatnot. Basically they take it out on the consumer, because the more it hurts their pockets, well, again, in turn, they take it out on the consumer. So, a little side note, so to say, because, the topic at hand is just dealing with some World War III news, but just as a little side note or whatever, yeah, you can expect to start seeing the price of everything going up little by little, which, again, I did a video yesterday, live yesterday, just touching on how, because these people right now, you got the gas tax holiday, gas is relatively cheap, going down, You know, these people are there in a state of slumber, so to say. You know, that happens all the time. You know, these people, they get rocked rocked right back to sleep. You know, um, but nevertheless, you know, let me get this, because again, you know, the Iranians, they're vowing retaliation once again. All right, and there's been a lot of talk, like I said, of these terrorist attacks. You know, so I want to get this in Isaiah 42:13. The Lord shall go forth as a mighty man. He shall stir up jealousy like a man of war. So that's the point. All right. The Lord, like I said, he's stirring up the pot, you know, because with all this Hezbollah, you know, getting involved, you know, these different proxy, you know, cliques, so to say, of them Iranians more and more getting involved, you know, that's going to cause a further, that's just going to because what this could lead to is more nations getting involved because of the expansion. Like I said, more of these proxy Iranian cliques, so to say, are getting involved. Is going to cause more tension in the region. You know, more tension in the region. You know, is going to further venture out, right? Which is going to more in turn cause other nations to get involved with, which, you know, other nations are already getting involved because, you know, the writing's on the wall. You know, these nations, for the most part, they can see that this shit is about to go down. Everyone's picking sides. You know, you just had the officially Saudi Arabia, as well as other, you know, key players in prophecy. Saudi Arabia, you know, that's one of the main ones. That's a major key player because, you know, that's America's biggest, you know, one of America's biggest allies. And, you know, as we mentioned, once they completely just do away with the dollar, man, you know, hey, that's it. You know, America's dollar is done. It's already done, but, you know, pretty much the only thing that's backing this dollar is the fact that the only thing that's really backing the dollar is people's faith in it, really. You know, but again, the Lord is stirring up the pot more and more, you know, because a lot of these Ishmael nations, Arab nations, you know, them Persians and them, more and more, you know, they're waking up more and more. They're getting involved, or they're going to get involved. All right, you know, because I'm gonna get this in Jeremiah. Jeremiah 49. Therefore, Slakia, Jeremiah 49 and 20. Therefore, hear the counsel of the Lord that he hath taken against Edom, and his purposes that he hath proposed against the inhabitants of the Teman. Surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Surely he shall make their habitations desolate with them. All right, because as it's been said a million times, you know, 1,000,001 times, you know, and as the Apostle Paul always says, pay attention to the Levant region, you know, the so-called Middle East. Pay attention to that region, you know, because once Israel and Iran start going at it, which more and more, you know, more and more, that the tensions are rising between the two. Like I said, with all this Hezbollah, you know, and all these proxy-backed, Iran-backed proxy cliques, you know. Well, now, like I said, more and more Iran is getting involved because they're blaming, like I said already, they're blaming the West and you know, Israel and allies, right? So of course we just have to see how that plays out. but eventually something is going to happen to where, Israel and Iran are going to start going at it. It's going to come blow to blow, you know, which in turn that's going to draw America into this. All right, because that's when it says surely the least of the flock shall draw them out. Again, something's going to happen to where Israel, or excuse me, America Slakia. Israel is going to get somehow, some way, shape, form, or fashion, America involved once Israel and Iran start going at it. All right. And once that takes place, once that's in full effect, hey, Russia's going to get involved, And Biden, his administration mentioned towards the latter part of 2023 about how, about a direct involvement with Russia, direct involvement with Russia. So, I mean, it's all according to prophecy. All right. And like I said, with Iran moving their warship over there to the Red Sea area, and just like I said, man, with all this tension, all the tension is brewing, it's brewing, it's brewing, it's brewing, right? Let me just get this real quick in Ecclesiastes. Because, it's almost like every day something's happening, something's taking place, Ecclesiastes 3 in verse 8, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. So you see, while everyone is in this jolly old mirth spirit, just coming off the holidays, right? So-called holidays, and everyone's talking about this new year, new me bullshit still. And, everyone's trying to, just optimistic and putting all their energy into, we're going to bounce back, and, just everyone's in their folly. All right. Basically, they're, in that peaceful state, like the script say, in peace and safety, then sudden destruction. All right. So everyone's in this spirit of, just you see it, man. Everyone's just walking around here, just completely clueless. They don't know what's going on. All right. Just going with the flow, just going with the motion. Right. These big old smiles on their face and whatnot, like everything's all good, and, just looking forward to the future and things like that. Right. Just optimistic and things of that nature. But we're in a time of war. All right. And like I read in Isaiah 42, the Lord's stirring things up. He's stirring the pot up. He's stirring the minds of these different kings. All right. Leading them to war. Because again, this is one thing is going to lead to another. More and more Iran is getting involved, which, like I just read, the least of the flock shall draw them out. So once Israel and Iran start going at it, because again, Iran, they're vowing once again, they're vowing a retaliation. I'm gonna get this. Second edges. So of course, man, these are things to definitely pay attention to. Just keep our eye on. Second Edges 15. Start at verse, because at one point all those Arabs and the Ishmaelites and them, at one point they were beefing, but according to prophecy, they're going to link up. All right, they're going to link up. So in Second Edges 15, in verse 15 of 28, behold, an horrible vision in the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon earth. that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. Also, the Carmanians. So you see, the Persians, the Iranians, so-called Iranians. All right, so-called Arabs, Ishmael, all of them. Matter of fact, when you read on, it says, also the Carmanians raging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them. So like I said, at one point, all those neighboring nations were beefing with one another. They didn't get along or whatever. All right. But eventually they're going to link up. And we've been seeing that, especially as of last year. It was a very prophetic year. It says, and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians, talking about Babylon, America. All right. It says, and then shall the dragons have the upper hand, remembering their nature. So you see, it says remembering their nature. Could you see, for a while, they've been quiet. Ishmael, all of them, they've been quiet. Them Persian, they've been quiet. But more and more they're gonna get roused up, and hey, they're gonna remember them. They're gonna remember their nature, and that's why, like I said, the spirit has been out there to, as far as these terrorist attacks. There was a time where I remember, you see you see Ishmael and them walking in their garments. I don't even know what they're called, but all wrapped up and whatnot, and you get kind of nervous because it's just that stigma that they had on them, being terrorists, walking with those particular garments and whatnot. You can get a little nervous or whatnot, but hey, the time's gonna come. The time's gonna come when, hey, that shit's gonna be for real. That shit's gonna be for real. These cats gonna be going kamikaze mode, and all type of shit's gonna be going on. They're gonna remember their nature. All right. It says, and if they shall turn themselves, conspiring together in great power to persecute them. All right. So hey, like I said, man, things are ramping up. Tensions are becoming more high. All right. This thing is going to grow. It is going to expand. Other nations are going to get involved. All right. That pressure in the pipes, because this is the time that we're in. Like I read in Ecclesiastes 3, we're in the time of war. All right. So again, just to recap, man, the Iranians, they sent that the warship over there to the Red Sea, which that's causing all type of tension, provocation or whatnot, and the bombing that took place was they're deeming a terrorist attack, and they're already blaming it on Israel and Western allies or whatnot. All right, so hey, again, of course, it's just be on the lookout. Be on the lookout, man. Because the shit is heating up. Lord willing, the Lord doesn't take his foot off the pedal with this. All right. And like brother said, get your spiritual popcorn ready, man. This shit is about to blow. I just want to speak on that real quick. Lord willing was edifying. All praise to you, Habashim Shai. Shalom to you, hopefully, like.